This scream has haunted anyone that has played Street Fighter 2. It happens every time that Vega uses a notorious wall dive move, which when used correctly, can absolutely dominate a match. It's frustrating to play against even at a top level, because you can force your opponent to flip a coin and guess which side you will attack on, and the counter to it is incredibly difficult to execute. Vega was a boss character introduced in Street Fighter 2. His original name in the Japanese version was Balrog, but when it was localized to be released in the United States, they were forced to swap the names of the bosses due to M. Bison being a little too similar to boxer Mike Tyson. Vega's general playstyle in Street Fighter 2 is characterized by his high-flying acrobatics and absurdly long-reaching moves. He has the fastest walk speed in the game, and is extremely good at controlling the space around him, forcing his opponents to take big risks to break his defense. He is easily considered a top 3 character, and honestly, he has no bad matchups. But what takes Vega over the top is his wall dive. His strongest game plan revolves around getting a knockdown, and then gaining enough space to do the wall dive. Once you reach a wall, you gain speed, but retain full control of your character. This allows you to force your opponent to guess what side you're going to attack from, forcing that coin flip. If your attack lands, your opponent is forced into a knockdown, giving you enough time to wall dive again. Games can be won or lost based on the first wall dive, but what it takes it even further into the cheap territory is when you have forced your opponent to guess which side you're on, you can now grab your opponent, turning what was once a 50-50 block into a losing battle of a 1 in 3 chance. Vega becomes the house at the casino. While this is incredibly strong, it's not without its flaws. For one, Vega's extremely vulnerable on the way up for his wall dive. He cannot cancel or attack until he touches the wall. Players can intercept him in the air to stop him before he gets his game plan going. Many characters have invincible reversal moves that can hit Vega, even if he's already attacking. But this is incredibly difficult, as you have to change your inputs depending on what side Vega attacks you from. Wall dive alone would put him in contention for top tier, but he has plenty of other strengths to complement it. He has long-reaching normal moves with disjointed hitboxes. This means he has portions of the moves that can't be hit, but he can hit the opponent. This allows him to play at very long ranges where most characters can't contest him. Combine this with the fastest walk speed in the game, and you have one of the best footsie characters to exist in Street Fighter. You could force characters into the corner easily and set up devastating tick throw situations, which is where you force your opponent to block with a normal attack, and then as they think you're going to attack again, you walk up and you land a throw on them. He also has 2 invincible moves. An invincible flip kick that can combo to itself for massive damage, as well as a retreating flip that allows him to get out of a lot of awkward situations. And finally, he has a super where the meter will only be used if he lands the actual attack. This is something few other characters can do in this game, and primarily used for the grappler characters. And on top of this, it functions as a regular wall dive, allowing you to decide if you want to go for the grab super or if you want to attack, or cancel it altogether and fly across the screen. Vega does have a couple weaknesses though. In general, his damage is pretty low compared to other characters, and he has very low health and dizzy thresholds. This means any mistake you make is punished severely.
Opportunity. Can sit there. Oh, catches him with another one. Nuki looking to get that back wall. Does. And again. Oh, he misses it. Oh!
God. Sure.
That is the face of a champion right there, people.
But one of his most glaring weaknesses lies in his normal moves. First, his opponents can knock Vega's claw off. Like many things in Street Fighter 2, it is random in how the claw gets knocked off. After Vega blocks 8 times, he has a 13% chance of it randomly coming off on any future block that round. Without his claw, Vega's normals do less damage and, more importantly, lose range and priority. Losing to opponents' attacks, he would normally beat cleanly. Second is that you have to be precise with your attacks. While they reach far and can stuff opponents' attempts to counterattack, they only cover very specific portions of the screen. A prime example of this is his crouching heavy punch, which has a hitbox in a very awkward spot. So much so, characters can stand right next to him and not get hit. Compared to someone like Balrog's crouch heavy punch, which has a hitbox that surrounds him, allowing him to hit opponents in many different positions with the same move. Top level Vegas force their opponents to play at a certain range, because if opponents get too close, it can be actually difficult for Vega to stop the pressure. In the beginning of the game, this wall dive was all you needed to win, and no one shows that better than the master of cheap himself, Tokido. He was specifically known for it, and was able to make even the best players have to consistently guess. His mixture of speed, fakes, and reliably hitting a knockdown made him a force to be reckoned with. Very few players had strong answers to him, but the legendary player John Choi was one of them. He was able to reliably land short Yukins and stop him from continuing his game plan. Other players, such as Justin Wong, tried to beat him with his own strategies.
Single kick backflip. Vega does have some recovery when he hits the ground. Oh. Prevents Justin from even getting to the wall.
But players have found really good counters to it. This has forced the best players to adapt, and they have to use all of Vega's strengths and then use the wall dive as a mix-up when they can. The Japanese player Mao is a perfect example of this. He uses Vega's walk speed and strong ground game to force opponents to beat him in a footsie battle. He focuses less on the wall dive, opting for a more structured approach with regular jumps and pressures in the throw. With this, he also plays way more defensively than the other Vegas, utilizing his long-reaching moves to keep players out. Originally seen as cheap and broken, players are now understanding the nuances it takes to play Vega at the highest level. Players have actually gotten so good at defeating Vega's traditional game plan, he wasn't even in the top 6 at the Evolution Championships 2023. While this move is quite possibly the cheapest move in competitive Street Fighter history, one thing remains for certain: player skill will always be number one.